You're listening to the Hollywood Boulevard podcast.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Hollywood Boulevard Podcast. It's been, I don't know, a few months since our last season, so finished up and everything, and we've got a fun one for you guys because we got a theme going. I guess we had a theme going for a few of them
I think so, yeah.
already.
This is the beginning of a new season and all, right?
Right. This is the brand new season. This is season I want to say
Yeah, yeah.
7 or 8. Like it's up there, you know. So, we're going to be talking about some sports movies coming up. And the first sports movie I decided to bring to the table is Rookie of the Year. And we'll get into why I picked it and everything. But first of all, before I get into my story, into how I came upon this film and everything, because I have a whole big backstory with it. Let's go with Alfred. When was the first time you watched this movie? Do you remember?
Tonight, tonight.
Oh, what? This is your first time?
Yeah.
You never saw it
This is
before? Oh my God. Wow. All right. Well,
I'm
there you
enjoying it though.
go.
First time saying I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Especially what's going on. So it's just what the doctor ordered. Needs some good comedy, good wholesome
Uh,
fun comedy.
Thank you for saying just with the doctor. Well, he had a Pepsi, Diet Pepsi that he was
Oh,
that he was doing this stuff for. Man, I love that. But anyway, we'll get into that. But wow, this is your first time. That's
yeah.
awesome. And he's still watching it, by the way. I'm gonna just throw that out there, let people know. He's still watching it while he's watching doing it with us. So that's really cool. You got the whole thing going there. So I'm gonna let you get back to watching it and whatnot while I talk to Joe.
One eye
Uh,
open.
yeah. So Joe, when was the first time you saw this? Don't tell me it was tonight.
I saw it when no,
Yesterday.
yesterday. No, I'm just kidding. No. Yesterday. No. I saw it when it first came out in summer of '93. I think it was July of '93, I believe. But I will get into all that later, but it's like yeah, I saw it in the theaters. Yeah.
Wow.
I was I was like
Was
20
this?
at the time and I'm a big baseball fan, so all I was
Yeah.
ready for it. So
What's your baseball team?
mine
Yeah.
mine is the Marlins and
Florida Marlins,
well, Miami Marlins now.
Miami
They were
Marlins.
the Florida Marlins. Yeah. And interesting thing about that too, I was like, well, this takes place in the '92 season, which was the last season before the Marlins. They started playing in '93. So
Oh
so
wow.
I was like, well, I won't say anything with the Marlins in this. This is pre-Marlins. But I kid you not, a kid at the beginning of the movie was wearing a Florida Marlins baseball cap. So it was like before because they filmed this in '92 season, but a fan was just wearing a cap because they started the season the following year. And I was just like, hey, there's a
Well,
Marlins cap.
it was filmed then, but it was released in '93, I believe.
Yeah, so it was released during when they were playing and stuff like that as their first year. But and there other than that, there's no part of that. They don't have any part in this movie. But Cubs
Yeah.
fans don't really care for the Marlins, but that's a different story altogether. But yeah, so I saw it in the theaters and I think it was Patrick Henry 7, if I remember correctly. But I don't know. I mean, I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, but I can remember what theater I saw something in 30 some years ago. So,
Yeah. Well, I
anyways,
can remember that only because we only had two
Yeah.
theaters when I was growing up. So, though then again, I saw What About Bob in Florida when I was visiting
I saw that at
my
Regal Kiln
family.
Creek.
oh, you saw it at Kiln Creek?
Yeah.
You saw what at Kiln
Yeah.
Creek?
What
Oh,
about
What About
Bob?
Bob? Yeah. But I remember seeing that because we my dad doesn't even remember that, but I remember being kind of we didn't really go see movies when we went on vacation, right? And stuff. We didn't go to the theater because that's something you can do at at home or
Yeah.
whatever. And you want to go to the beach or other places, when you're on vacation. So I think it was raining in Florida and there was like nothing to do. So like my family took me to that. I saw that in Florida, and I also saw, I believe, Independence Day in Florida when that first came out. So
Well,
there's only a
well,
few.
I saw a movie on a cross country trip when we were moving from Florida to California. A small movie called Raiders of the Lost Ark. So I saw that
Oh,
Oh,
at a military base in San Angelo, Texas, that area. So
nice.
I always remember that. And my mom was like, "Oh God," she's like, "I hated that film," and I was like, "You're just, it's okay, you're wrong." But
my,
Yeah.
my,
anyways,
my mom picked that one for us that night when we went to see it, and Dad and I want to see Clash of the Titans, and she wanted to see Raiders of the Lost Ark. We were like, "Oh, Mom, you picked the winner."
Yeah. Pick the winner
yeah,
there.
yeah, definitely the better of those two. But
And
so
Utica.
we sometimes you see movies when you're on vacation. I mean, different things happen. I saw a movie in Paris once when we were in France for our honeymoon. It was raining or something, and I went and saw it was an American film. I think it was Fracture with um, Hannibal Lecter.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy from from Silence of the Lambs and all that. And but they had it subtitled in English. And it was
Anthony
dubbed in
Hopkins?
French. Yeah, Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, and it was I
Was
think
John
Ryan
Cusack in
Gosling.
that one too?
No, I think it's Ryan Gosling maybe, but
Okay.
in any case, it was. But they dubbed it in French, but they had it subtitled in English, or vice versa. I can't, it was backwards. It was just like, oh, this is different. But yeah. Otherwise, I would never saw a movie while in France. I mean, because there's too much else to do. But
Well, I think I'm gonna see a movie in LA when I go out with my dad to Los Angeles because we want to go to the big Los Angeles theaters and
oh
watch a
yeah,
movie or something, you know. So we're gonna either like the New Beverly, which is Quentin Tarantino's theater, or one of the fancy schmancy ones. Because I mean, we're not gonna go see a movie, like we're not gonna see we're not gonna see the Avengers or something like that. We're gonna see something really cool that you wouldn't normally get to see or whatever. Um, but
yeah. I,
speaking of my
I think
dad,
there's some good movies coming out right about when you're going to be there. So there'll be something there. I mean, you're going to be at the center of the movie, so that's a little
yeah.
different type of trip. Yeah.
So speaking of my dad, this is like my dad used to take me to movies all the time. Like he would just I don't know if I told you this story, Joe, at one point or whatever, but he took me to Cool Runnings when I was a kid, and that was I think like movies like that and this and many of them were like kind of fly in the seat of your pants, kind of like, hey, it's
hmm
Friday night.
Mhm.
Do you want to go see a movie kind of thing? Interestingly enough, my mom, my dad, and my sister are gonna go see a movie this weekend, and they're gonna see F1 because my dad's into that stuff and wants to see a Formula
That was a good
racing.
movie. That was
Yeah.
a really good movie. Yeah.
So,
Well, it's kind of funny you mentioned Cool Runnings because I mean that fits right into the theme of the sports stuff. So
it
sports
does, and
movies.
it's
So
actually one of the ones I was thinking of doing this year. So we'll see
oh,
because
spoiler.
yeah, I mean, I thought about it. We'll see if it happens or not, but it's just an idea. However, so let's go to
Sports movie with another sports movie with John Candy in it too. So I mean
yeah,
that would be
And John
a double
Candy.
up for you on
and
that.
it's Disney. So both are well, I guess no, this
Yep.
wasn't Disney though. Disney Plus has it because it's a Fox property, I believe.
This was Fox.
Yeah, this was a Fox property, but it almost
Yeah.
feels like a Disney movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it might as in my opinion, it might
Oh,
as well have
absolutely.
been.
It's
Uh,
almost like a Shermer, Illinois movie.
yeah, it kind of feels like a John Hughes kind of
They're in the
thing.
Chicago airport, and
Yeah, in the Chicago Cubs. Yeah, it's
yeah,
definitely a Hughes kind of
Hughes
flick.
verse.
Yeah, but so basically, when I was a kid, I loved this movie. I watched it in the theater, and then when it came out on VHS, I recorded it onto VHS and watched it or Betamax, whichever one I had, and I rewatched it like over and over and over again. And you know what's funny is I've watched this over and over again recently and once with my dad, I just wanted to see something and. I was looking over at Disney Plus and Rookie of the Year popped in, and I was like, "Oh!" And I thought my dad would only watch like 15 minutes of it or whatever, and then leave. But he like got
Mhm.
hooked. I mean, it's a movie that definitely hooks
Yeah.
you. Um,
Yeah.
Well, it seems like
Well,
they
you
want
would
to
been
put
it
on
would
in
have
the
been
background
you would have
too.
been
what? Yeah, I was about
yeah,
11.
this would be a type movie given. Yeah, so you were just slightly younger than his character, but right
Yeah,
in that same
slightly.
ballpark.
I mean, yeah, and it was definitely a movie for me. Like for my generation, I guess, which I'm very surprised. Like, I guess, I guess because it does have that huge style
Hmm.
stuff that Alfred and you would like it, but like it does feel like a movie made for millennials, at that time or whatever. And
It
I think
did.
people could watch it. Anybody could watch it.
'Cause Home Alone was a huge property, right?
Hmm.
And John and the lead coach was directing this.
Was that?
It
Oh
was
yeah,
one of the Wet
Yeah.
Bandits is directing this movie.
yeah, one of the Wet Bandits and Sticky Bandits.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I was it.
So you said you saw it for the first time. You didn't see it in the theaters. You
I
saw it on
did see
video
it
the
in the
first
I
time.
did. I saw it in the
Oh,
theaters,
you
and
did. Okay.
then I rented it like religiously, or whatever. I think I copied it. I'm sure, and then I watched it as many times as I could because it's one of
Well,
those.
I'm sure you have a DVD of it now, right?
I have the
You have a
DVD
DVD.
of it, but I don't think there's a Blu-ray of it, which kind of
I don't.
sucks.
I thought I read somewhere that it's never been released on Blu-ray yet.
Mm.
So, which
So I
which
do have
a
a
little
cheap.
surprising, but
I did see it in my collection when I was doing my DVDs when I was putting up my DVDs up at the studio. So it's up there
Mhm.
somewhere, the DVD of it. It is a bummer that I haven't had on like I would buy a 4K of this movie. In fact, I rewatched The Sandlot recently, and
Mhm.
that was like my favorite baseball movie for the longest time. And now I just don't feel like it holds up. It feels slow when you rewatch it,
This one with James Earl Jones.
Yeah,
yeah.
and the dog and everything, and then the junkyard
Yeah.
dog and the um and
Well, we're a
when
little different on that one, but because Sandlot's that's different. But that reminds me of childhood playing ball with the friends and stuff like
well, no,
that.
I get
Yeah.
that, and I
Yeah.
totally get that. Hey, if you want to, I don't mind rewatching it if that's something we end up doing. But it's not my favorite. I
Yeah.
think Rookie of the
Hmm.
Year is probably my favorite sports movie, especially sports kids movie.
Mhm. Well, that's
It's
the
just
emphasis you put kids on it because it's like when I was watching it last night, I hadn't seen it in forever, it seemed, but I still remembered a lot of the lines, which we'll go over from time to time, I'm sure, throughout here. But when I was watching it, I was like, okay, Joe, watch it from a kid's perspective inside yourself, the nostalgic kid side, because a few things happened at the beginning. I was like, well, that's not possible. That's not possible. I was like, wait a second, Joe, you're watching this as an adult. You're not supposed to watch this as an adult. You need to watch this
Right.
as a kid or be nostalgic from your childhood to watch this. And then
Yeah.
when you do that, it works differently. So
I mean, when
uh,
this was made, though, was it made from? Are you talking about Sandlot or this?
this
well,
was made before The
this
Sandlot. Yeah,
But
Sandlot
yeah,
was 94, so
your
a year
logic. I mean, it's cool
later.
how your logic was going because it wasn't intended to be a nostalgic movie when it was made, but now it is.
Hmm.
Or
Yeah.
yeah.
at
Well,
least for
the
this
early
one,
'90s,
Rookie
it
of the
was
Year.
baseball was crazy with movies in the early '90s. And then I was wondering, I was like, which one came out first, this or Little Big League? Because I was like, Little Big League was the following year, and then there's all
Yeah.
sorts of other ones around that
Mr.
time as
Baseball, I
well.
love that one.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
what
So
killed it was I bet it was a players' strike.
mm,
The one they could shut down baseball for a while.
yeah,
right.
that was '94,
So
Yeah,
the following
wow,
so
year.
so the following year. So they must have at that point have done all these baseball movies and then had to stop making baseball movies for a
it'd
second.
be interesting, Joe, if you could get some info on that. See if the amount
Uh,
of baseball
What?
movies dropped off. See if you can get the amount of movies that dropped off with the players' strike.
Well, I don't remember as many baseball movies after the
I
early
don't
'90s.
either.
I mean, we had Major League, Little Big League, Rookie of the Year,
Yeah,
Sandlot, Major League Two, I guess.
Field of
I would be
Dreams.
in there. Field of Dreams, that was '89. The Babe, which was like '92 with John Goodman. Cobb, which is Tommy Lee Jones
Yeah, that was
playing Ty
94,
Cobb.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so there was a ton of these things happen, and get to '95 ish. Baseball movies did drop off.
8 Men
I
Out.
at least yeah, 8 Men Out. That would have been late '80s, I think. But
I cried at
but
the end of that one.
great. That is a great film. Uh, so yeah. At least if they still were making baseball movies, past the mid '90s after the strike and everything, they weren't nearly as memorable to me, anyways. Until later in the decade, like when For Love of the Game came out, and that one hits me a little differently. But yeah, so I mean, it dropped off from at least memorable baseball movies to me. So
Yeah.
but
So let's talk about the story before we get into like the background of who's in it and everything like that. Actually, let's go into who's in it real quick because then we can when we talk about the story, it'll say. So first off, the director is Daniel Stern, as we said,
Right.
he's the Wet Bandit. And this, I believe, is one of his only movies he's directed.
I think it said it was his only directing, was the only thing he ever
Yeah,
directed.
maybe he had a hard time with this or something because he's never directed anything else, and I'm kind of sad about that because I feel like he did a great job. I mean,
Yeah.
it looked good. The comedy was very kid-like, you know?
Yeah.
So like there's that one weird bellman guy that's like, your door seems to be malfunctioning. I'll
Yeah.
get housekeeping up here. And he smiles. And the guy's like, what a cool guy, you know, right? And I'm like,
That was cool.
it was like, what a weird like scene, but like
Yeah.
that's a kid scene that would crack kids up in a second, you know.
Yeah. Well, I liked Stern directing more than his character in it. His character in it kind of was a little bit of a dry spot for me. Not saying that it was bad. It was just it was a spot. I think he ramped it up like a kids movie. I guess he was channeling a little of side Marv in him, or was it be Marv from Home Alone, where he could just
Marv,
be
yeah.
where he could just be goofy and over the top and stuff like that. But but I mean, his directing stuff, he was fine. I don't know why he didn't do more films. I mean, unless that's just maybe it just wasn't his interest to follow that direction.
So the writer of it was Sam Harper. Sam Harper, after Rookie of the Year, did not make another movie for 10 years. Did not write another movie for 10 years. His next movie was Just Married with Ashton Kutcher and Brittany Daniels. Or Brittany Murphy, was it? Maybe?
Yeah, Brittany
Brittany
Murphy.
Murphy. I don't know why I said Daniels. Brittany Murphy. Then he wrote the remake to Cheaper by the Dozen with Steve Martin.
Did he have
And
anything before Rookie of the Year? I mean,
nope,
did he have?
that was his first one.
Wow.
And so then after that, he did Cheaper by the Dozen too. He did a movie that he directed called Housebroken, starring Danny DeVito. Then is Rio, the cartoon. Rio, he wrote the Ice Age, Mammoth Christmas, and he's got a new movie coming out that's in development called Friendle. I don't know what that's about, but so he's it's in development, so it's not even getting ready to get made yet.
There's a decent amount of kid stuff in there, whether it be animated or in this case live action. But it seems like that seems to be his niche, I guess.
Yeah, that seems to be where he's good at, and it's very
I
cool
mean,
to
yeah.
see
Just
him
Married. Just Married does go off in a little different tangent, but it's still PG-13.
It's still PG-13. It's not like R-rated or anything, but it is a
Yeah.
different. It's not a family-friendly movie necessarily.
Yeah.
It's not something you watch with your, kids and stuff.
Yeah. But diversity's cool.
Yeah, and it was good. I think, maybe he had tried to do some other stuff after that. I would love to chat with him or something, find out what he did in the first, maybe he went to something else, maybe because I mean, Rookie of the Year did well. I mean, we'll get into the budget and then the making, but it did pretty well,
Yeah.
for itself. And so I'm like surprised that he didn't, he wasn't like more asked upon unless that was his choice. Like he was like, I'm not really wanting to do anything right now. After that. But that would be something I'd have to ask him if I ever could even find him, like out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Sam Harpers out there, by the way. It's really tough. So, but anyway, so he wrote it. Who else is let's see, the actors is a very young Thomas Ian Nicholas. You might know him from a little teeny tiny movie called American Pie.
Oh.
You know,
Right there. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Oh my God! Now I
that's
can
one of the
pronounce some
guys from that's
places.
Kevin from American
Dang!
Pie.
Wow, it's funny because I was like, God.
Yeah. He also was a kid in King Arthur's Court,
Uh-huh.
which was pretty cool. I remember that as a kid. I was so excited to see a movie about King Arthur done by, for a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he was in let's see, he was in The Rules of Attraction. He's been in a lot of stuff. Trailer
Yeah,
Park Shark for us indie film cafe lovers.
yeah.
And
He was in a movie I watched a couple years ago, Adverse with Mickey Rourke.
nice.
A smaller film. Uh, I mean, it wasn't like over the top great or anything like that, but it was good to see that he's still doing something outside of American Pie because those pop up every 5 to 10 years or something like that. So
Yeah, I think a new one's coming is American Funeral is coming. So
yeah,
that sounds very depressing. So next is also he was in a movie called Walt Before Mickey, and it was Walt Disney. It was a story. He was Walt Disney, and it was the kind of stuff that happened, how he became part of Disney, what happened, and all the different things. It was a really good movie. It was
oh, you've seen
fantastic.
it?
Yeah, I love it. I've seen it more than once. I think I saw it because I was had to do like a biopic or something for like I did a 1 year I did a whole thing where it like I had to like each day or no, each week I had for 52 weeks I had to
Hmm.
pick a movie and watch it, and everything, and they had themes, and different stuff. So one of them was a biopic I've never seen or something like that. So I was like, Walt Before Mickey, this looks kind of fun. And
Yeah, I just looked it up and I saw who's in it. I'm like, interesting. That might
yeah,
be a have to
it's a good
because
movie.
it says John Heder plays Roy Disney and Nicholas plays Walt Disney, and then Jodie Sweetin plays Charlotte Disney. I
What's
Hmm.
was
the
like,
movie?
It's called Walt Before Mickey. So
Okay.
if you're a big Disney fan and
Yeah.
want to know sort of how Walt Disney, became Walt Disney, it goes all the way up, his life all the way up to where he discovered Mickey Mouse and
Okay.
everything. So it's really good. And he went through a lot of stuff. Now some of it's probably made up for the movie, but the rest
yeah,
of it was great. So then after that, there's let's see. Gary Busey is in
Yeah.
this movie. How incredible is it to see a very young Gary Busey, well,
Yeah.
younger Gary Busey acting. He was not acting like a normal Gary Busey. He had little bits and goofiness to him, but like,
Mm.
he is very calm and chill,
The Point Break
well,
one
he
in
had the
'91.
Yeah, Point Break was right before this, like, yeah,
Okay.
91, I think.
and then he had was a Buddy Holly story like in the
Oh
80s
yeah.
where he was up
Right.
for like he either won or but I know he was nominated for Oscars I believe for that. So
I mean, and
so
this was after
this
his
was
accident, so, his motorcycle accident that kind of caused his issues, and stuff.
well, he acted relatively normal in this still.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
I mean,
I mean, he had some Garyisms going. I guess is that a thing? Garyisms, just
Busisms, I think,
abuses. But
yeah, he he's one, yeah, because there's some parts where he was like, what, right, and he acts all like whatever, but it was very toned down. I don't
Mhm.
once again, talking about interviews, I would love to interview Daniel Stern and ask him, like, was Gary like an easy guy to work with? I'm guessing he was. He seems very nice. He actually had a thing on his Instagram recently where he was asking people to contact him through Messenger to get Buseyisms, from him, and stuff, and to, and
What are
like
some
he
of
was
them?
opening it up. So,
What would be
what?
abusivism?
He does like goofy sayings and goofy stuff,
The
like,
two Utah, one, two sandwiches.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
whatever his like goofiness with that is.
Okay.
I don't know. It's funny. Um, then let's see. Next is Albert Hall plays Martinella, who's the
He
manager.
he was the chief on Sure as Shit was Chief's boat.
He was on what?
He was the chief in Apocalypse Now.
Oh yeah, he's the
Yeah.
chief in Apocalypse Now. Yep.
Yeah, I love that. It was maybe this, but Sure as Shit was the chief's boat.
And then like I think a couple years later, he was in Major Pain. So
Well, I was like, as soon as he walked up, I was like, gosh, he looks familiar. This happens with a lot of these movies back then, and I'm like, holy cow, it's so and so.
yep, it's crazy.
And
Uh,
it looks like he's retired now from acting.
He's 87, I said.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely would see that as a reason, but I mean, he had some good marks in his career.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Then Amy Morton played Mary, who's the mom,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and she's on what is it? She's on one of those.
It's familiar.
She's on Chicago PD, so went back to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And she's one of the main people on that, but she's also been on all the spin-off shows as her character, and stuff. I watched like an episode of it, and I need to rewatch it, because I'm a Dick Wolf guy. I don't know why I haven't like got into that, because that's one of the Dick Wolf properties and stuff, and it's police stuff. You'd think I'd be into that.
Oh,
Yeah, looking at her career, I mean, I see her in stuff like it looked like she had a small role in Falling Down, which to me, I love that film. And then after Rookie of the Year, it looks like she took like a 5-6 year break, and then only did 8 millimeter, and then took another 15 years or so. So she had like some breaks there. Maybe she did family or just whatever, but she seems to be going now strong still with Chicago PD.
Right. I mean, 10 years later, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, maybe she took a lot of times with women, they'll take breaks because they'll get pregnant,
Yeah,
and
do
then,
family and
yeah, and then they'll be the matriarch and they'll be taking care of everything. Then they
yeah.
go back when they have time to, and the kids are old enough to like have a sitter or something.
Yeah,
Um,
or they retire and just disappear for good, and
yeah.
and that goes for guys just the same. But it's like um yeah. So she was the mom here, and her character was kind of weird though. It seemed like she when she greeted the two kids the one time, she made like sort of a remark to the one boy, and I was just like, it was kind of an odd look. I was just like, what was that? And then
It did, because I've always noticed that when I rewatch it
uh,
as an adult, that she goes, hi George, and then she goes, hi, whatever the other
yeah, Gary or whoever
no, what was the other one? Clark. Hi
Clark.
Clark. And I'm like,
But she's like Clark. I'm like, she has it's just different. It's different from the other one. Just like I was like, but and then
maybe she just likes Clark better. I mean, I don't know. That's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
took it
well,
as.
yeah. Well,
Maybe, but
she also had some rough I mean, the dating scene didn't seem like she had some challenges there with meeting the right people.
with Jack Bradford, which
He
we'll
was
get into in a second.
yeah.
But next I do want to talk about Dan Hedaya, who I always know him as the father in Clueless, but he's been in like every
He's the
time
chief
I watch
detective
him,
in Running Scared.
yeah, yeah, that's
There you
true.
go. See,
And he was
I would
Commando.
be, yep, I'd be like Alien Resurrection or
Yeah.
or Night at the Roxbury, because he was the dad in Night at the Roxbury.
He's yeah, but I always think of him as the dad in Clueless, and also he was in like Commando, as
Yeah,
like the
but
villain, you know. And
he
I'm
was
just like,
insane.
he's not, to me, he's not a villain. Like,
No,
to
that's bad.
me, like he's a lawyer. Like he can do
Yeah,
that real well, or what, or a father, I get that. Like,
But he's good as a smartass.
he is. He's definitely good as a smartass. And in this movie, he was just a kind of a jerk, kind of guy or whatever.
Well, I think he was he the GM basically, or he was he was part of the organization.
Like he was like, I think like right under the owner,
The owner. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
he was,
it's usually the GM, but it could be like the president of operation. The
but of
a little
course
bit
he
in the
does
sport.
stuff behind the owner's back, and stuff and everything. Like he's trying to get rid of the owner because I think the owner has like one more year left or something, or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
they have a thing to where if they don't do well, they're gonna have to they're gonna lose the team or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they did not. Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. Did you finish it?
Yeah,
Alfred?
he just so
Okay.
he's just the team just won a victory at the
Yeah.
end.
Nice.
He says
Okay.
mom has her name in a glove. I don't know what that's about, so I missed something.
Oh yeah, we'll talk to you about that in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually one of my least favorite scenes in the whole movie. I'm gonna get into that because
Mhm.
really, I'll buy magic, magic or tripping on a ball will get you an arm like that. I will not buy that you can find where your mom is in a crowd of people and have an actual conversation with her and hear her lips, read her lips to what she's saying with, you know what I mean? Like I was like,
Well, she wasn't in the Bob Uecker seat. She was in the front row.
right. But still, right all the way across, you
Yeah,
can see. I don't know. I don't buy any of
and he
that.
and he and he, and he tossed the ball just enough in the air that it just went straight to her without anybody else jumping over. That was a little over the top, but I mean that's Hollywood at times.
Well, also, yeah, wasn't she like, where was she? She was behind where
I
the other
thought she was
side?
behind people, but I guess
I,
she must have been somewhat up at the front because he didn't have the arm strength to throw it that far anymore.
yeah, because
So
yeah. Anyway,
I don't know,
it's
but
all good. But anyway, so
you
yeah,
got to watch this through the lens of a kid. We got to remember you got to watch this as a kid because if you watch to be analytical, then
yeah,
you'll
yeah. No,
find stuff
that's
to
right.
bust out.
That's absolutely right. I like that. I like that. We also did not mention the guy who plays Jack Bradford, which is Bruce Altman. I don't know
He
why.
hammed it up. He hammed it up a little
I
bit.
I don't.
He's like I know what to do.
I don't know why, but he kind of gave me Albert Brooks feel to it. Like whenever I see him, I think of Albert Brooks. Completely different people, don't even look the same, but for some reason, that's what I was like feeling. I know Albert would like 1 year or 2 years later be in the Scout, be the Scout and
Oh,
the
another
Brendan
baseball
Fraser.
movie.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I brought it up. Um, but Bruce Altman was in Running Scared, as we said. He was also in, actually, that's a different Running Scared. He was in the
Is that
2006 Running Scared.
is that the one with Paul Walker?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Paul Walker one. Okay, he was also in Matchstick Men, regarding Henry, and The Paper, which I want to watch again. I have not seen that in years, but the Michael Keaton.
That was a good movie. I really enjoyed that.
I'm not really a
That
big fan
the
of Ron
paper's good.
Howard as a
All three of those
director,
are.
but you know, I'll watch it. And
He has
then
sort of it's a different like a Hollywoody type of thing. But yeah, I like his stuff for the most part. But anyways, go ahead.
all right, we've got a couple more people I want to talk about. There's a lot in this cast. Eddie Bracken was the boss, the
That,
owner,
that that's
Bob
Roy
Carson.
Wally from Vacation.
Okay, yep, that's Roy Wally. But he was in let's see. I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff. He passed away in 2002. And he's been doing stuff. He was in Hail the Conquering Hero, Miracle of Morgan's Creek, tons of different
You're
movies.
you're pulling movies from like the 40s out. So I mean,
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
he
that's
well
what
he
he's
had a
been
very
in.
long career, and yeah, now
Yeah.
was just the end. This was towards the end of his career, but yeah, he was.
He was
He
great.
had yeah he had a demeanor that I just kind of a unique look, and it looks like he was in Home Alone too. So I don't know if he was in the first one, but he was in Home Alone too. So
Nice.
another Home Alone tie.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if, when did Home Alone 2 come out? The
That was
same
like
around the
90
same.
92. It was probably
Yeah.
after Christmas of
So
92. So it's probably filmed in 91.
he probably
Hmm.
got like this like right after. Um, but so next on the list is Robert Hy Gorman. You might know him as Walter from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. the one that like gets an arm broken or whatever because he's climbing up, or whatever, and to because he's watching TV. He climbs up the roof or whatever and falls off. He was also in Leprechaun, the original with Jennifer Aniston. He was in Forever Young and Leatherheads. So, has he done anything recently? No, the last thing he did was the TV show Drop Dead Diva in 2009. So he hasn't really acted since then, which kind of sucks. It always sucks when people you think can have a really good career kind of disappear.
Yeah, maybe he had some other calling.
Maybe. Next is Patrick LeBrec. I'm probably butchering the name. Sorry, Patrick. He was in Beethoven as bully number one. He was in Camp Nowhere like a year later after this as a grocery store clerk. And I just rewatched Camp Nowhere, so I remember the scene. It's like they were trying to buy beer or whatever, and he did not buy them as kids tried, as whatever buying beer, kind of thing.
So he was the other friend, the
The other friend, yes. So
the other friend.
those
Okay.
were the two friends. So that was Clark was the other one, and then George. And George is the one who was in Camp Nowhere, Beethoven, and he was also in Heavyweights. So this dude has like well, I guess even I don't know what this would be, but four big hit, kids movies. And Rookie of the Year, I think, was his biggest one that he was in. But I mean, to be in Heavyweights, to be in Camp Nowhere, and to be in Rookie of the Year, as pretty good roles, that's awesome.
And it sounded like more of a cameo that if he was bully number one or whatever in Beethoven, but Beethoven's not exactly small potatoes either for family type of comedies.
And I think Beethoven was before all of these, so that was his big start. And then I really want to talk about the girl that when I first watched this movie, I had the biggest crush on. I still do, but is Colum Jacobson Durstein, who you might know from a little movie called Mighty Ducks, another sports movie. She was Julie.
Was she the goalie?
Yeah, Julie the cat.
Wow.
Yep. So, this is as an actress, she is best known for her child roles, including Julie the Cat Gaffney in the film, the series, The Mighty Ducks. So she was great. Yeah, I think she came in D2, if I'm correct. She was not in the first one, but she was in D2 and D3. So did she come back? She didn't come back. So she has left because I believe she has actually become a chef now. That's her real job and stuff. And the funniest thing, the last movie that she was in was a little movie called Chef, starring John Favreau. So all the rest of the people, a lot of everybody kind of disappeared. You don't really know. I mean, obviously John Candy, and everybody knows John Candy. I just rewatched Uncle Buck for the first time in like forever since I was a kid, and I still love that movie. The movie's still funny to me.
And I've told you that I've only seen pieces here and there. I've never watched it in one setting from beginning to end. And it's one of those things. It's like, and you probably have movies like this too. It's like you have no reason why you won't watch it. It just never has happened, really.
Maybe we'll do a theme for 80s movies, and I'll bring that into the thing because that's
a good one.
I don't think it'll be a film I'd get Paul to watch, but I'm sure Alfred, you'd watch that movie again, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I've seen it several times.
So there you go. All right. So now that we talked about the cast and some of the crew and everything, let's talk about the movie. Also real quick for the crew, Bill Conti did the music. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah, I saw that.
He's the guy who did Karate Kid and Rocky and the theme music for a lot of that stuff. And he did the music for this, and it sounded great.
It's fun. Oh yeah. It did. I'm chuckling because it's like you just basically told your age a little bit without saying your age by mentioning Karate Kid before Rocky,
Yeah.
because it's like Rocky's like this grand, like award-winning composing and stuff like that. And Karate Kid's good, but it's, you know what I mean. It's like
Right.
it's like somebody who knows like an actor or something like that from like when they're one of their older roles, but they had like a childhood, like all sorts of stuff. It's like, oh, you got to remember all this. No, they made their mark on you at a different time. So,
Well, I mean, and you're right. It does show my age because I'm a huge Karate Kid fan, which I think,
oh yeah,
Joe, was it you and me that did Karate Kid, right? For
we
Film
did talk.
Freaks.
We talked. I think
He's a
yeah, we
Cobra
talked Karate
Kai.
Kid and one thing. And I think we've done it. We've done like, did we talk Karate Kid 2 in another thing? And
Yep,
then we
we did it.
then we did some stuff on Cobra Kai. So we've been around the block on that. I don't think we'll be doing Legends though. I don't think.
I don't know, man. That's an hour and 30 minutes of a movie that should have been 2 hours long, in my opinion. And that's the only
Yeah, I
one of the
mean,
only times I'll say I want a movie longer, than what it was.
yeah,
But
yeah. It's just that movie. It was all right. I mean, it's just, but it's not going to leave the mark like Karate Kid and Cobra Kai and stuff
yeah,
like
it's the
that. But
sad thing. I don't think many movies
yeah,
like that are like sequels or whatever like that will do that,
hmm yeah,
Um, but anyway, yeah, I'm a huge Karate Kid fan, huge. I like Rocky a lot too. I mean, my dog was named Rocky, so there's
oh yeah.
some stuff with that, but like I Karate Kid will always be my heart, and that's because I think it's the age thing. It's like I was 2 years
Yeah.
old when that came out, so all right, so we're gonna
I was
talk.
like, yeah. I say, go ahead.
Yeah, well, all right, so let's get into the story, which pretty simple, I think. Kid, a kid who's a very big Cubs fan. Um, is a what is it? Wants to do a uh, basically gets a chance to play for the Cubs when he slips on a baseball. That and everybody's making fun. I love that scene where he's got his hand up and everybody's like, "Hi, Henry. Bye, Henry." Like everybody's
That
teasing him.
typical youth tease and bullying and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And
Not bullying. I think it's
uh,
teasing. They
well,
weren't.
some of the kids were bullying him, but not in that scene. They were all just about the arm being up. It was like everybody was waving to him and stuff.
Well,
But
I
some of those
mean
other
that.
kids,
Well, go ahead.
no, I'd say a couple of younger. Well, his injury was caused because he was kind of being pressed by that one kid to catch the ball, and he was trying to prove himself in front of the girl and everything. So,
I mean, it didn't have like your typical bullying, like I'm gonna punch you kind of fight kind of thing like that. It had the guy saying, you know, um, great game, which is I think teasing, and stuff. He was like, "Oh,
mhm.
thanks, you jerk." And then he was like, "Hey, catch this." And and stuff like that. And he has to go show off in front of the hot girl, and whatnot. So he trips, falls, breaks his arm, and has to go to the hospital. And that doctor was hilarious. I thought he was great. What'd you think, Alfred? Because this is your first time watching it. What'd you think of the doctor? Are you are you there? Oh, Alfred's not
Did we
there,
lose
right?
Alfred?
Yeah, well, he's got his mute on, so I think he's oh,
Here I am. Yeah, I
all right.
thought. Yeah, this one. It's a good movie to watch. I enjoyed watching it. It's just kind of like I didn't have to think too much. I didn't have to worry too much. I didn't have to, just like sit there and enjoy it.
What'd you think of the doctor
It was
that
funny
had to?
who it was, but he was made me laugh.
Yeah, I don't know who the actor was, but he was hilarious. He was said funky butt
Funky
loving.
butt loving.
Did you just say
Did he
funky?
say funky butt loving?
You know?
That's one of the things that there's a couple of the lines in this one. That's one of them. It's like I remember that like I'd seen it like all the time over the years. That's one that just sticks with you because
Or,
it's just funny.
pitcher, 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 pitcher's got a big butt, pitcher's got a big
Yeah,
butt. That stuff is so
yeah.
that
I thought it was
movie.
funny.
Yeah. And then he kept doing whatever he could. He would call him chicken, and he would do, different things throughout the whole thing, which it made it into a kid thing, right?
Hmm.
And did you notice
Absolutely.
like all it was like the players like wanted to be children again, They like
Yeah.
loved it. I mean, usually in a movie like this, you'd think that there'd be like one guy in the group that would like hate him or something.
Yeah.
And I guess it could have been the Gary Busey character at first, it's just like upset, but they don't really go there in this movie, because like even Rocket is like like impressed by this kid, like, man, I wish I could throw like that again, or whatever, instead of being a
Yeah.
jerk to him. Like he's a jerk to him in the beginning where he doesn't sign his baseball,
Yeah.
or whatever, but he says he doesn't do autographs, but he really wasn't that jerky, to me. I thought it was very,
Yeah.
nice. I don't know. Everybody was nice in this movie, you know. Would you guys agree?
Well, the boy, except for the boyfriend or the fiance or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah. He was
Altman's character,
dork.
he was, yeah, he wasn't exactly on the up and up trying to sell him off and stuff like that just to
What else has he been
make the money.
in?
Well, we said later that guy was in, what was it? What was that guy in? He'd been in some stuff. Hold on. Bruce
Well,
Altman.
he has 117 credits, so it's like
He was in
he's a
Regarding Henry, The
big time
Paper.
character actor.
Yeah, he's
What's his name?
Bruce Altman.
Okay.
I wonder if he's related to Robert Altman. I doubt it, but he doesn't look anything like him. But I'm just saying that you don't hear Altman a lot. You know. Let's
Yeah,
see.
a lot of smaller films and some TV stuff, and there's some theatrical stuff like you already said. And, well, he was in
Yeah,
Girl Interrupted. He was a teacher, a professor in that.
I
That's a
never
good one.
seen that movie.
Oh, Girl Interrupted. That was
No.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know me. I'll watch anything that Winona's in. So, um, she was the one that I grew up with.
Yeah,
Um,
she was.
yeah, and then Altman was also in Copland. So
Oh, that was a
Copland.
great movie. Is that the one
yeah,
with Sylvester Stallone?
yep,
Yeah,
And De Niro and all. Yep,
I love that movie. It was great.
he was also in Quiz Show. So he
he's been in a lot of stuff. Like the dude's been around. You know.
yep. So
I remember seeing him. I've noticed him in other stuff. Or whatever. So. Yeah, so yeah, that character was a complete dick, and everything. That was sort of the point,
yep,
right?
yeah. So I guess with the story, he got did the surgery, and I guess the tendons and everything stuck to the bone a little strong or something, and it gave him
Hmm.
that super powered throws. And he was at the Cubs game, and the Cubs sort of caught wind of his because that throw was from the bullpen. I mean, he threw that head, it'll be what, at least 400 feet, stuff like that. So
Gee,
they wanted to sign him.
there was a question because they wanted to find him, right? But they only knew his name, like first name Henry, and everything, that he was
Mhm.
a child. And I'm guessing that's not something you can just like look up somewhere back then. So my question is, do you guys think that Jack was the one that called the Cubs and said, "Hey, I got this kid Henry that can throw like blah blah blah," and they were like, "Oh, that's the kid," right? And then they sent the manager over,
Yeah, that would fit the character of
Jack.
Altman's character. Yeah, Jack. That would fit his character because he was out for himself.
Absolutely. Um, there was also the manager kept saying his name wrong all the time until one day he actually did say it. He said,
Hmm.
"Rowan Gardner, you're up next," and he looks over at Chet Stedman and his Gary Busey and is telling him, "What did he call me?" Right? And because he's always calling him Robert Rooster, Robin Rouser, whatever other name than Rowan Gardner. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's hilarious. And then Chet Chet was the regular pitcher, but he's kind of losing it, and he's got to retire. Like I think he sort of knew even before he decided to retire that was going to probably be his last year, and everything. Um, Even though he didn't get let go because stupid Jack wanted him gone, that was wrong, you know.
The only reason he wanted him gone, though, is to get the girl.
Well, you could keep the girl because the girl had no interest in him
Keep the girl,
anymore.
yeah.
He's such a sort of a shallow character, all he cares about is money.
Well, he jumped down his Henry's throat that one scene. She decked him, knocked him out of the house, literally.
Yeah, definitely. I love that scene, the scene where she just belts him right in the face and knocks him down and everything. And he was like, that didn't hurt, right? And then you start crying right after.
Yeah, I know,
And
right?
that was great. But and then and that actually brought a really kind of good sort of character scene where Henry and his mom are having that talk about his dad, who his dad was, and that his grandma was the one who told him, that the dad like left, or whatever. And it's funny because he never brought it up to his mom, never seemed to care about, telling her that because he liked the idea that she kept saying this fake, life or whatever for his dad. And so yeah, that was a great emotional scene. There was great emotional scenes between the kids because he started to get you know, too famous, too, all that stuff, and he started to kind of get a little. I didn't think he got like an attitude or anything, but like he wasn't a kid anymore, and
Yeah.
so I really enjoyed sort of their fights and stuff. Even though Clark was the one throughout the whole thing trying to tell him, let's just work on this boat stuff that they're doing,
Yeah,
And
be kids, be preteens and stuff.
did you notice, Joe, like the like bit where he's like, "Does your dad know you? Did your dad say it was okay to take the engine?" And he's like, "Let's just work on the boat." There's like these other underlying stuff of like you don't know what's going on in Clark's life. Like almost made me feel weird about that. Like, what is going on? Like, what's this backstory here? Like does his dad hit him if he,
Yeah,
takes this stuff or like what's going on, you know?
yeah,
But
yeah. It'd be one of those things that it'd be nice to know more, but at the same time, I think this was packaged where we don't want to ask too many questions.
now I ask this a lot for a lot of these shows and probably even this one too, but like would you see this being remade or like a TV series?
I think this could get like Disneyfied even further, um, and it'd be fine. I mean, I don't think there's. I think they'd have to tweak a few things. Just probably make it. I don't want to say they did anything that wasn't PC because it really wasn't that. They just have to modernize some of it. Probably bring technology into the story or something like that if they were going to play present day. But
I don't
yeah,
know.
it'd be harmless because I mean, that's ultimately what this movie was. It was harmless. It's just good. Um, it's sort of comfort food as a child type of nostalgia type thing.
Even
So yeah, I think they could remake this. I mean, they'd want to, like I said, modernize it a little bit. But
Ruddermucker. That was one of the things he called him. And I was like thinking when you say he's a Ruddermuck. I was like Ruddermucker, I no, I agree. I think that this could be a movie or TV show or
Come on, come on,
something.
come on.
What,
Um,
what's going on, Alfred?
to Bill Murray, you said amok, 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 and I said, remember, and I'm Scrooged. Come on, come on, come on.
Ah,
Yeah.
you got a
gosh,
little
Alfred, you went all serious on your back screen.
I know you got like
Oh,
North by
yeah.
Northwest on your back screen
I
there.
know it's just there. Let me see. I'll move back to. It's weird
I
because I
don't
can't
know.
hear my ooh, whoa.
For me, I just
Fiction.
yeah. See, for me, all I got is the curtain. I mean, well, they did have a Wizard of Oz curtain reference in this one here. Was like, what's behind the doors, or what color the horse, or something like that. They made it. It was like a
That's a
Wizard of
horse
Oz
of a
That was a
different
part of the
color.
movie.
I guess that would work.
Well, they go,
There you
hey!
go.
But either there or Jabba's palace for one of the
Yeah.
two. Because they both
Oh
have the
yeah,
same.
Jabba's palace
I
out there.
never connected. Maybe that was a because and they had the eye come out instead of the wizard and I was looking at it.
Yep. So,
Like the little wizard. Yeah.
Yeah.
the Wizard of Oz, that was a great, because I don't even know if I noticed it when I was a kid, the Wizard of Oz scene, because I'd seen the movie as a kid, Wizard of Oz, but I'd never, I don't think I was a big fan. Like, I didn't grow up. I like it more now as an adult, you know, just because I like the technology and the stuff that they did for it, back then, Um, but anyway,
Yeah.
so to go back to this, so yeah, they so all the I would watch a TV show or a sequel or a remake of this if they ever did that. I think it would be fun. I don't know if they ever would, because I don't know. It's a property that sort of I almost feel like gets sort of lost in the shuffle of other, like everybody always talks Sandlot when they talk baseball kids movies, and I'm like, talk about Rookie of the Year. That's why I want to do it, because not many people talk about it as much. You know. I did send Thomas Ian Nicholas a message, but he did not respond, which I did not expect him to, but I was hoping that maybe that would be cool. He does these things where if somebody asks for it, he'll do the hen row row row, but he'll do it for their, like, he'll be like Joe turn Rick, right? And he does it better. He has like a whole thing for it and everything. And I was like, that's pretty cool. He'll do it for like people who like have kids that are into baseball or something, and he'll do it for the kids, and everything. And I think that's sweet that parents are still letting their kids watch
Well, they said
this.
that they said that he posted. Yeah, they said that he posted when the Cubs won the World Series 8, 10 years ago. Last 10 years, that they posted a picture of him as on X or whatever as a kid with the last scene of the movie with him having the ring up in the air and stuff like that for the Cubs winning the World Series, because it was such a big thing that they hadn't won in so long.
Nice.
So he tweeted that out when they won.
Yeah, he's a good kid, a good guy. I like him. I like him.
Did they win the fade?
What was that, Alfred?
Is it a fiction that they won?
Is it a picture of them winning?
Yeah, I mean, was that real?
Well, it was. No, they didn't win then in '93. They didn't win. They really won it in like 2015 or 2018. And this is in the past 10 years. But they literally went 100 years without winning a championship.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
that's
it was
awesome that they
fictitious.
won in that time.
Yeah, it wasn't as up against it as it was like with Fever Pitch, where they had the whole story about the Red Sox, and then they had to add a little tag on to the end of the movie because the Red Sox broke their curse that year right before they put the movie out, so they added the scenes to it for them. But it was 20 years later from Rookie of the Year to the Cubs winning.
Yeah, it would have been cool. Like, it would have been cool if they were doing Rookie of the Year too. Like, so many years later and everything. I thought that would have been cool. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, I mean, it's a simple idea, but at the same time, it's a fun idea.
Yeah.
And like I said, throw logic out on a few things, because I was sitting there, I was like, he's not eligible to be signed straight out for the Cubs. He'd have to get drafted. I was like, Joe, stop thinking about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they can't be like, find this kid, and then like adults might be like that, but like adults shouldn't be watching this movie like that,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, exactly. And it was like at the end, they're like, oh, they got to trade him to the Yankees. I was like, no, there's a trade deadline. You can't do it until after the season's over. And I'm like, no, that's real. I was like a 10, 15-year-old kid ain't going to know those things, and that's who this is really catered towards more so than a curmudgeonly older guy.
it is interesting that that they were gonna just have her sign the contract for the Yankees or whatever, which does not happen like that. But then they said, "Why would you want to sell me to the Yankees?" And the guy looks over at him and goes, "What?" It was like Mr. Fish said, and you know what? I'll take care of him. Of course, he makes them, he's selling hot dogs in the nosebleed section, or whatever, and everything. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Hmm.
I don't know. I thought this movie was very cute. Again, like it was a lot of fun. Um, it's a movie that you can watch at any time. It doesn't need to be baseball season or anything, it's just a fun, cute little flick. And I'm glad Alfred watched it for the first time. So
Yeah, me
now,
too.
that Alfred can rewatch it another time if he feels like it. I don't know. I don't know if this will ever move you to want to rewatch, but it's I think it's a lot of fun. And if you're just honestly, this is one of those movies that if I'm just in a really bad mood, or I'm sick or I'm just not feeling good, this is a cheer me up movie, And there's a few sports movies. Cool Runnings is another one of them, but like, that I could just watch if I'm not in a good mood. And
Yep.
thank you Disney Plus for having these for us, and everything.
Yep. That's where I watched it.
Yeah, I love this movie. I thought it was really great. And I watched it again. I think there's something to have on the back end. I don't know what's going on, so I just didn't feel like I enjoyed it. I think I watched asked my dad to watch it. Oh, I forgot to say that my friend Grant G, he's a huge baseball fan, and he said he loved it.
Nice.
I don't know if I said that.
Yep.
Good.
So,
Shout out
um,
to Grant.
well, it came out in July of '93, so like we talked about earlier. And you know how I always like to do the
Yep.
what
I was
else
waiting for it.
what else was out. I do not know the budget. I'm sure you could add that part in.
I don't think
Uh,
it was listed, but
okay. Well, it ended up making like 53 million total at the U.S. box office. That's what, according to Mojo. But so it came out it came out and it opened up in fifth place its opening weekend. And it was number two for the movies that came out that weekend. In the Line of Fire also came out that weekend, and it made
Yeah.
15 million that weekend. But Rookie of the Year made 9 million its opening weekend. Number four was Sleepless in Seattle. That was in its third week, made 10 million. Jurassic Park was number two in its fifth week and made 15 million. Number one was in its second week, and that was The Firm, Tom Cruise. Then 6 through 10, it was
But
The
Top
Firm.
Gun? No.
The Firm.
Oh yeah, that was a great one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 through 10 was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in its umpteenth Disney re-release. Dennis the Menace was also their son-in-law. Probably sure that's a funny movie. I love that movie.
I love that movie
Um,
too.
uh, Also opening that weekend, and it only made 4 million, and it opened up at number nine was Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Oh geez.
Oh
And
Jesus.
then the number 10 was What's Love Got to Do with It, Tina Turner movie. So it opened up sort of middle of the pack, but it had a little bit of legs because I mean it opened at 9 and ended up at 53. So it had a little bit of legs.
I just love going to listening to the movies they're playing at the time.
What was that?
I like I'm going back and listen to the other movies that were playing at the time.
Yeah, that's
I know,
what
right?
Joe likes to do and bring that up. I hate to say it, Joe, I steal that for my other ones when you're not on. I'll always leave you to do it when you are on, but I'll be like, I actually like it. I think it's kind of cool to look back and see what is good and what was bad and what worked, what didn't work, that kind of thing. So
Yeah. So the way I look at it, it's like, and this is just movies in general, they're time capsules of the times for these older movies. And it's like, so you see in the movie for what it is at that time, but also when it was released, what was the context of the world? What was hot? What was not around at that time too? So it just sort of gives a snapshot of the time period too. So
Well,
I just found it interesting.
we just got out of the Cold War a couple of years early. They're still in the recovering from that, and let's see. It just seems like things were going all right. 93, I was in the Marine. I was in the Marines in 1990, and then but we were at a 2-month training course at 29 Palms, and that's when I think we saw Jurassic Park. Some of these movies. I may have seen it in a drive-in theater in California. We went there every couple weekends, but I can't remember what ones we saw. There's a big drive-in about half hour south of 29 Palms.
I mean, Jurassic Park's a
Well,
classic.
But 93 was
Yeah.
also, did Alien 3 come out in 93 or no?
I think that was 92, but
Okay.
I think so.
I wouldn't know why I wanted to remember that, but
Yeah, for some reason I can remember when all these movies came out up until about 2000, 2005 or so. Then at that point a lot of it becomes they kind of blur together because unfortunately there's not as many memorable ones. And I mean this is in the wheelhouse in the early to mid 90s. So I mean
yeah.
you're still getting a lot of good stuff. As said, Firm, Jurassic Park, In the Line of Fire, Sleepless in Seattle, and Rookie of the Year. I mean that's a pretty good top five. Even outside the top 10, I mean, Last Action Hero was in its fourth week of release. Cliffhanger was out for about a month and a half. Unforgiven was still right. Well, Unforgiven was in its 50th week of release. So
Wow.
Unforgiven was in the top 15 for a year. That's crazy.
That is
Crow,
nuts.
did the Crow come out in 93 or 94?
94, I believe.
Which one?
Crow.
Yeah.
This the Unforgiven, I remember that was one of the previews for vice versa. I can't remember. I think it was like Unforgiven was the preview for the Crow or something.
Yeah, but The Crow I think was 94.
Okay. Yeah, I went to see him. I saw Unforgiven on Marine duty when I went to reserve weeks. Or thing at Glen Haven Mall. I don't know, or see that at the mall because I mean,
Yeah.
like you didn't get away from the base.
That theater's still going.
Damn.
They're still going there.
And
Well,
those
that's good. So all right, well we discussed all this stuff that we normally discuss. And everything. We did a pretty good show, I think. We got a good amount said. And if you haven't seen Rookie of the Year, I think we sort of spoiled things, so sorry. But that's your fault for listening to us instead of going out and watching the movie, which you can watch on Disney Plus, or you can buy a DVD of it on Amazon for like $10, I think, or less. You know, it's pretty good.
What a bargain.
Yeah, it's definitely a bargain. But yeah, so go definitely check it out. Let us know what you guys think of Rookie of the Year. Who's next? Is it going to be you, Alfred, or is it going to be Joe? Who's coming next month?
I'm not sure.
Alfred, do you have your pick ready? If you have your pick ready,
yeah.
you can go ahead. I mean, okay. I don't know if we want to spoil it or not, or
Yeah,
maybe
let's
we do.
spoil it because I think that's what
we're
we've been doing it lately. Is if you, well, do you know what you want to do next?
Yeah, it's the movie called Victory about a football match between them, or soccer match America, between the Allies held in a prisoner of war camp and the Germans.
I've heard of
Dude,
it.
I own it on DVD. I will.
Yeah, I think I have it on DVD too somewhere.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Is it the one that like? Yeah,
it has like Stallone, Michael Caine, and Pele in it, I believe.
Yeah,
is it Michael
Pele does
Caine?
the bicycle kick. So that's great.
And I think was it yeah, Bill Conti did the music for it too.
So that means that my movie for number.
Can hear you guys. Hold on.
That means.
Are you gonna pick that one, Joe, or no?
I guess I'm gonna have to take a Bill Conti movie when I go for week 3.
Oh, gotcha.
Or pick 3 on it.
No, you don't have to. I don't even know.
I know. I know I don't have to.
Twinkie dink.
But that is awesome though. But yeah, it was
you can easily say that that Rocky is boxing. So I mean that is a sport.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you wanted to do
karate
Rocky,
kid,
you
karate.
could.
I mean that is a competition. Yeah. I mean it's literally there, and I'm sure he's done other sports stuff. It's just not ringing a bell right off the top of my head, but I'm sure he has. But anyways, I don't want to take the thunder away. Continue on with Victory.
What?
Alfred, anything else you want to say about Victory before?
Let's see. It's got a great. The cast is just wonderful. It's you know, you said Michael Caine and Pele. It's got a whole bunch of soccer players from the era. They're real soccer players that they put in the uniform, and Max von Sydow. He's one of the German leads. I just find how the dynamics between the different people and how important this match was to them. And there's something
Yep.
at the end of the movie that make you cheer, stand up and cheer, and oh my God, I'm getting broken up over it. I don't know why, but it's like
Yeah.
see it, and it's like, have you seen The Great Escape? And like I can't even right. It's like The Great Escape with a hockey match. I mean, a hockey match, a soccer football match.
Nice.
I saw Great Escape as like high school or right out of high school. I think it was like
Yeah.
somebody was watching it, and I just sort of, but I haven't watched it as an adult, so and I should watch it because I believe Steve McQueen's in it, and
Yeah.
I always enjoy his stuff. So
So you got my mom introduced me to North by Northwest, Rear Window, it's The Great Escape, a lot of Casablanca. My mom is really well versed in the classics. And then my dad, we got Amazon
there
with
you
the
go.
Moon and the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. It was my dad.
But you know what? But Alfred, what happens there is it seems like you're getting it from both sides there, so you're getting well versed all around.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's a well-rounded person.
There you go.
By the way, Bill Conti also did the music for was it Unnecessary Roughness
Uh-huh.
and Gotcha.
And
Which
Right Stuff, I
I
think.
and the right stuff.
Yeah,
But
right
like
stuff.
I was
Then
thinking of sports movies, and Gotcha is not a sports movie, but if you
Paintball,
count
right?
call Paintball a sports movie, I don't know.
Was that one
It's
with Richard Greco or something?
yeah, I think so.
Rico,
Somebody.
or the guy who was on 21 Jump Street?
Well, it's got
It
Anthony
looks to
Edwards.
kill.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Anthony Edwards and Linda Fiorentino in that one.
Oh God, Linda Fiorentino was hot.
Yeah.
She was not painted black. She was a Men in Black.
Yeah, she was also in what wasn't she? And she was in Dogma. She was in a lot of things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Duggan was great.
Last
That
Seduction.
movie. Oh, that one movie I could only watch once because it got me. Whoa, this is
Yeah.
fucking crazy. I should just manipulate right through. But yeah, so I want to do. It'd be fun to do like a Top Gun, Right Stuff, and Iron Eagle or something. No,
Yeah.
which one of these is not like the other?
Well, I think all of those are 80s. If you want to pick them for
Yeah.
when we do an 80s one,
Yeah.
feel free.
Yeah.
But all right, we're gonna have to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you guys so much. This is an awesome beginning to the new season, kickoff to the new season. Using my sports metaphor there. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. Keep checking back, guys. We'll have some brand new stuff. So until then, everybody. Bye.
We'll see you at the movies.
We
Oh,
will.
yeah, it's copyrighted. Oh.
You're listening to the Hollywood Boulevard podcast.